What's going on, guys? It's Chris here. Welcome back to Calling Your Bluff. I'm with the boys. We're in the studio. We're recording our second episode. Last time we were kind of speculating about a lot of things, and it seemed like the very next day news was breaking left and right about what we were talking about, so we're going to update on that.
Yep.
Jeremy, you want to start us off?
So Deshaun Watson, they announced that he'd be suspended 11 games and fined.
Only 11?
Only 11. That's right.
That's a lot more than 6, man.
Well,
Wow.
I mean,
A lot less than indefinite.
what about?
Yeah, I know.
What about the $5 million
That's
that
pocket
he had
change.
Chump
to pay?
change. That's not
chump
even one
change,
game.
bro.
Yeah.
Chump change. For him.
I mean, I guess my thoughts on that are, I really don't see how anybody could be happy with what they've decided to do. I mean, they went from 6 games to 11 games, but you still have a guy that's been suspended a year for betting on his team. That
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. It could cause some flaws in the game by betting on your team, but when you have 24 accusations, I think the penalty for that should be longer than 11 games.
I just want to know what he did. Like, I mean, what did he do? Like, what's all this hype about, you know?
Apparently nothing. 11 games shows that.
You know, it's convenient for the NFL. He comes back, I believe week 12 versus his old team.
They did it for the ratings, bro.
Right.
And what a lot of people aren't talking about is that's the first week NFL can flex games. So, like, say you have a 12 o'clock game, they can flex it to a 7:30.
It'll be
game.
It'll be a prime time game.
Oh, yeah.
They're
It will
gonna
be.
flex that game, and both teams are probably not gonna be that great. I mean, the Browns might be okay.
Cheese and rice, man.
Yeah.
I find it funny how he comes up with a forced apology, last week before his first and only preseason game, because he's not going to play any more preseason games. I guess there's really no point. But yeah, it's all a marketing ploy, honestly. To me, I mean, we all know he did it. I mean, he visited like 68 massage therapists in 17 weeks or something like that.
No, it's
I mean,
only 66, bro.
Oh, by 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, 66 in 17 weeks. I mean,
Wait,
that's
66
massage
different-
therapists.
like different ones?
Yes.
And how long?
17 weeks.
So around 4 months, basically.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Does he not have anything better to do with his time?
I mean, bro, that's basically 4 people a week.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he has a fetish, obviously. You know, that's like his thing. That's what he gets off on. So, he was just, he was just feeding that, and it went south for him. You know,
Yeah.
and he went north, but that went south.
For 4 months.
Yeah.
That was a good one, Braden.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of glad it's over, though. I'm tired of hearing every day about, what suspension he might get, I mean, I don't necessarily agree with the only 11 games, but I'm not real upset about it either, because he wasn't criminally charged, so, who knows? But it does seem fishy, but who knows? So I'm about done with it. We'll see on week 12. So
Yeah. That's going to be interesting. The Saints playing the Browns week 12.
no, we don't
Week-
play
week
on week
13?
12. Yeah, I think it's the week after. Yeah, week 13.
week after.
I
In-
think.
in New Orleans, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
I think an interesting point about the $5 million is, so his base salary from 2023 on is $46 million. In 2022, it's just over $1 million.
yeah,
So 11 lost game checks is only about 630,000 that he's losing. As if he was playing on a $46 million contract, he would lose about $28 million.
yeah. They did that on purpose. I mean,
For sure.
When he got extended, and I saw the contract, I was like, oh yeah, they're anticipating him missing time for sure. I mean, that was still a little early on, but I think everybody still knew he was going to get suspended at least a few games. So
If you're they're playing the Texans and the Saints back to back weeks when Deshaun's going to be in town. So, if you're down south, you're a massage therapist and you're a woman,
Watch out.
Watch out. Deshaun Watson might walk in. Don't just call the police.
Well, I did see he's only supposed to work out with team trainers. That's apparently in his contract.
You think he's gonna follow that though? You think he's not gonna be sneaking
Well, he's
out?
supposed to.
They put that
or-
in his contract?
Yeah,
What'd it say?
he's only allowed to participate in massages with the team trainers.
Yeah, with the NFL.
I mean, I'd imagine he'd walk the line until this is,
Yeah,
in the rear view for sure.
Yeah. He's gonna be out there again,
Yeah.
getting.
What's the point of putting that in his contract?
So he acts right. I mean,
Because they know, dude. He did it. He did it.
But, dude, does that not show you that, like, the Browns do not completely believe that he's innocent?
that's
No,
kind of. I mean, that's
Why would you
it's-
put that in his contract?
that's kind of like the Kyler Murray thing a while back.
Exactly.
Well, the bigger question is why did they give him $200+ million fully guaranteed, knowing that he did this?
Because he's an upgrade from Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
I mean, when he's on the field, he's good. You can't deny that.
I mean, Deshaun himself publicly has acknowledged that he's done it because he went out and said he's sorry that people got triggered, and he also apologized last week for his actions. What actions would those be if he was innocent?
Imagine how ironic it'll be if the Browns win their first Super Bowl in like 100 years or whatever, with Deshaun Watson coming off a case.
And I think they have a real chance too. I mean, they're a good team, top to bottom.
No, I don't
no
think
way.
they-
I mean, they're good. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, I don't even know that they'll win the division.
They lost a lot of pieces over the offseason, actually. And people don't, the Deshaun Watson thing's over all that, but they lost a lot of pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still think they're definitely a playoff team. So
Yeah, I mean, I think they sneak into the wild card, but I see the Bengals winning the division, and if not them, then Baltimore.
yeah.
I just don't understand how this is, like, it's being put away so easy. I mean, like I'm seeing right here, it says that Thursday, whenever he basically apologized, that after the game, he said that he has always stood on his innocence and always said, "I've never assaulted anyone or disrespected anyone." After the game,
Yeah,
after he had basically said that he was, sorry for what he did and didn't want to hurt anybody, and then after the game, you're gonna say that you've always stood on your innocence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he contradicts himself because
Exactly.
right
So-
before the game he said he was sorry for his actions. Like we all know what actions he's referring to.
He said the only reason he gave an apology is because some fans were triggered. Like that was
Yeah.
his exact words. So he's standing on his innocence, but he apologizes because fans are triggered. Like, why would you care?
They've been triggered.
And I don't want to say this is 100% accurate, but I saw a report that the NFL was pleased with his apology and thought it was a right step in the direction. And if they truly believe that, they're dumb. I mean, it was just a week ago, and before then,
It was like 2 sentences.
for over a year, he didn't even acknowledge that he did anything wrong. So, and all of a sudden, a week before, he decides to apologize. I mean, that was forced. That was forced by whatever PR team he has and his agent and whatever. So,
Yeah.
sick of it.
Well, the NFLPA too. They're obviously rocking with Deshaun, trying to fight the NFL. So when you have the NFLPA involved, it's gonna turn out okay for Deshaun, unfortunately.
So how about old Carl Nassib, huh? So literally last Monday we dropped the podcast, and then Tuesday it comes out that he's signing with the Bucks. So good.
I mean,
I'm glad for him.
I'm just gonna say kind of what I was already saying in the last podcast. It shouldn't matter his choices outside of football.
No, it shouldn't. I mean, he's proven that he's a good player on the field. I mean, he's been in the league since like 2015, 2016. You don't stay there that long and not be good.
Yeah, he's legit. I don't think it'll be that big of an issue. Hopefully the media doesn't try to blow it up.
I don't think they will.
Yeah,
I mean,
I haven't seen anything about it really, other than, it does get like top reporting. Like Schefter's gonna tweet about it.
Yeah. Well, they're honestly right now they're more worried about Brady being away from the team than anything.
Yeah.
I mean, Tom Brady's already the face of the franchise. He's basically all they talk about, and him being away from the team is all they really care about. Like Carl Nassib, the news came out, but they're not harping on it.
The Tom Brady situation, that's kind of
I think it's odd.
It is odd, but we've never seen a player with this much power before.
Right.
So on one hand, you want to say like he's hanging out with family. He's enjoying his time. He doesn't need the preseason really to.
Right. Well, I saw a thing, and I mean it's all speculation right now, but apparently he was done playing football. He was ready to hang it up, but he decided to come back because Schefter basically spoiled his retirement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
he kind of wanted to make him look stupid, which I understand. But at the same time, I mean, whether or not he was ready to hang it up, he's still got gas in the tank. I mean, you can argue his last 5 seasons have been the best 5 of his career. I mean,
that's how petty Tom Brady is.
Yeah.
He's gonna play a full NFL season despite Adam Schefter.
just to be like, look.
What's he doing right now?
Chilling,
I think
bro.
I mean, he probably works out, one time a day, but he's literally hanging out with family. He doesn't need the preseason.
He makes out with his kids. I mean, what else do you want?
I heard there was speculation that he was on The Masked Singer.
Yeah, that's what Blake was saying.
I saw some reporter say this evening that wasn't true. So apparently he had inside sources. So take that with a grain of salt. But they're saying it's not true.
What was the reasoning behind that? Why were they saying that was a possibility that he was on?
I don't know. I mean, I don't really know how that show worked. I mean, I've seen clips of the show before, but I don't know why he would have to miss all 4 preseason weeks to be on that show.
It takes like one night.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, that wouldn't be like.
Well, I know it's
reason.
like a competition, so I'm sure you have to be there multiple episodes, but still.
Well, I'm pretty sure I thought like the big time guests like that are like they're guests, like they're not competing in the competition.
I'm not too sure. I haven't really.
He's gonna report back to the team a week and a half before their first game.
Yeah,
everything's gonna be fine. He's just. I mean, it's kind of weird to say, but he doesn't need this time. I mean, he's a legend.
Yeah, people are surprised, but
is there a possibility that he's second guessing coming back? I mean, there have been a few things happen with the Bucs lately. That Gronk retiring. Yeah. I think there's been 2 linemen that's been injured.
Arians isn't
Ryan Jensen,
the coach. Yeah. Todd Bowles now. I mean, he recently said that he has no timetable on when.
No, I want to say they're to their 3rd string center now.
Yeah.
So Ryan Jensen got hurt, carted off, and then their backup also got hurt like 2 or 3 days later.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like it wouldn't be the roster construction or injuries that would be, keeping Tom away and having him reconsider. I mean, maybe he's realizing that age is catching up with him, because I mean that can be a real possibility. I mean, he's 45 years old, but I don't know. I feel like he comes back, and I feel like this is almost a non-story. But if this kind of bleeds into week 1, then it's definitely concerning for sure. So
yeah.
If Tom Brady, just hypothetical here, if he does retire, all they really have is Blaine Gabbert and Kyle Trask after that. I think they trade for Jimmy G.
Yeah, that's a big possibility.
Yeah, and I think he could do well there.
I mean, he fits with it. I mean, you got a Todd Bowles led team now.
Yeah,
and previous defensive coordinator.
And I mean, they have plenty of receivers and Fournette at running back, and I mean they have a good offense.
I mean the 49ers whenever Jimmy G was quarterback there, they were a defensive team.
Yeah,
they still made the playoffs. So
they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they went exactly.
And so, I mean you can hate on Jimmy G all you want, and I think he's the definition of like an average quarterback. But if you place him in a place like Tampa Bay, where they're pretty much they're stacked at every position, they could still make a run even without Brady there.
Yeah.
the NFC is loaded now, so it'd be tough, but it's doable.
Yeah.
I don't think they would be able to. I'm not being biased or anything, but I don't think they would be able to outplay the Saints at that point. Not with Jimmy G at quarterback. I mean, they have a hard time beating the Saints with Tom Brady at quarterback. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Jimmy G, I don't want to quote the full story or go through all the details, but Pro Football Talk came out with an article basically saying that since Jimmy G signed his contract in 2018, that massive contract he got, every offseason he just basically ghosts all of his teammates and coaches until it's basically mandatory for him to be there. So he's not really building any chemistry outside of the season.
Yeah.
So it's a little concerning, and people are kind of speculating that that's why he hasn't been traded yet. Other than his big contract that he's still under. But just trying to see what y'all think
he's
about
got
that.
better things to do.
Yeah,
bro. He don't care about that. He's trying to find the next porn star he's gonna hook up with.
Yeah.
Apparently, after he signed that contract, there was like 3 or 4 months where they literally heard like nothing from him.
Yeah, that has to bring up character issues, and if he's an actual leader, he brought them to a Super Bowl, but how much was that really him being a leader?
If somebody could trade for Baker Mayfield, I don't see why Jimmy G. Somebody wouldn't trade for him.
That was a little different though to me because Baker's younger, hasn't had the injury history.
But there's no other team in the NFL that has a quarterback that's like borderline. Should we start this guy or should we try to bring in somebody else?
Yeah, well, I think the problem is Jimmy G's owed like $24 million this year, so they're gonna have to get the Niners to pay some of that, and I'm sure a team doesn't want to give up really anything to pay the rest.
Can the Niners cut him? Like, say nobody trades for him, and
nah, they have to pay him.
They can't cut him.
I think
they can cut him, but it's a lot of money that they have to pay.
Yeah, I think he still owed that money. They'd definitely rather trade him because they're
he has the cap hit. He has a large cap hit.
Yeah.
What's funny about the Jimmy G situation is during practice, they practice like a normal team, and Jimmy G's dressed out full uniform, but he's just off on like another field, just throwing to like assistants.
Yeah,
and
the
stuff.
trainers and shit.
Isn't that weird? Like he's like a part of the team, but
man,
nobody messes with him.
Get your work in how you got to.
Yeah,
I kind of like that.
Do they never do like team periods, like ones on ones?
They do team periods, but he's not involved. He's not involved in any of it.
They're doing everything, but just keeping him like away.
See, the Texans didn't do that with Deshaun Watson. They made him third string safety instead, which I kind of wish they would do with Jimmy G. That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah,
third string safety Jimmy Garoppolo.
They should have him return kicks and punts.
Yeah,
in training camp.
Just like ruin his value, like break his legs. Why wouldn't you? As a franchise?
He's not a bad quarterback though.
No, he's not.
Yeah, I'm a little wishy-washy on him just because of his injury history. Like, it would kind of be a hard sell to trade like a second or third rounder and take a big cap hit for one.
He's not with the cap hit and with everybody knowing that like he's gonna get traded regardless. He's getting like a 6th rounder.
Yeah,
that's like guaranteed. He's not. It may be a 5th, but he's not getting past that.
But I've been trying to think over the last couple of weeks, just like what team would trade for him. You have like the Seahawks and maybe someone like the Texans. I
don't think the Texans would trade for him. Honestly, Davis Mills.
They want to roll up Davis Mills.
I don't see any team really pushing for him unless one of their starting quarterbacks gets hurt.
Yeah, Seahawks are the only team I can see trading for him just because they still have DK and Tyler Lockett.
Nah, bro, it's Drew Lock season.
Yeah.
Hey, don't sleep on my mans.
Yeah, I think Jimmy G's a definite upgrade over him, but I can see why they wouldn't want to pay even half of that cap hit.
Yeah.
So the best thing Jimmy G could do is go to a Super Bowl contender, be a backup to like a Mahomes or a
Matt
Stafford, Tom Brady, any legit veteran quarterback. And it's almost like the Trubisky situation. Like now they have Kenny Pickett now, but he's still going to start at least the first few weeks, and he he hasn't played football since 2020. He hasn't been in a game since 2020. So
I mean,
that's all Jimmy G needs to do. He needs to go to a team, learn behind a guy, and then wait for the free agency to hit. And there's going to be a team that offers him that role.
I mean, since the Browns are already in the business of giving massive guaranteed money to quarterbacks, why not just trade for Jimmy G and have him play 11 weeks?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically
the
a
Browns,
whole season.
Browns.
It'd be they'd have to pay him decent money, but
if
you want to get into the playoffs and then have Deshaun Watson come back, is it worth it to you?
I mean, honestly,
you're paying them that much money. I mean,
they're only paying Deshaun $1 million this year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And
so
I think Jimmy G comes off the books after this year, so why not? I mean,
if you can get the 49ers to at least pay a fourth of what he's owed this year, I think you do it if you're Cleveland.
And I think the Niners would accept that. I mean, why keep him around for the full cap hit if you can just pay a fourth and get rid of him?
Right. Who's going to be the Browns quarterback?
Jacoby Brissett.
That's not a bad option either, though.
No, he's all right. I mean, I still think Jimmy G's better than him, but
they also got former 10th overall pick Josh Rosen.
Oh yeah,
remember him?
He was hot ass.
Yeah, he's still
that
hot
dude
ass.
bounced around so much.
I remember seeing him getting picked, and I was like,
I don't.
There was one point to where on his Twitter, his bio said one team. His profile picture was him at practice on a different team, and then his header was him at practice on a different team. Yeah. 3 different teams on his Twitter at the same time.
He's bouncing around, man. Keeping his options open.
Yeah.
Any team.
Somebody that should have kept their options open was Miles Brennan. It seemed to backfire on him.
I don't think so.
I mean, I think so.
That's another thing that some news that broke literally the day after we dropped our podcast.
You mean to tell me that if he wouldn't have known that he wasn't going to be the starter, like if it wasn't locked in, if he'd have known that, he wouldn't have transferred somewhere else at the beginning of the year?
I really don't think he knew. I mean, I think that they were all just battling it out, and he was, you got to have some confidence in yourself. Maybe in the back of his mind he knew, but I really don't see him staying there that long if he doesn't know he's the guy. I mean, I think he had an idea of maybe he could be the guy.
And I bet he's just tired.
He is. I mean, this was his 6th year.
And he's been in a quarterback competition almost every single year that he's played.
In 6 years, he's battled 9 scholarship quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he's at the point in his life like I think he has his master's. I mean,
he's graduated.
Yeah, and he's about to get married. He comes from a wealthy family. He can pretty much do whatever he wants at this point. So it's like, why stick around and be a backup quarterback when I can just go off and ride into the sunset?
My life,
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, he's probably, I don't want to say sour, but I feel like he doesn't enjoy football as much as he used to, because of what he's been through.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
You can't question his commitment. You can't question his worth ethic. Nothing like that. I mean, yeah, he entered the transfer portal one time, but that was after his 5th year at the college.
Yeah.
The new head coach comes in, recruits him back. He goes through spring, fall camp, all that, and then, it comes out that Nussmeier and Jaden Daniels are the final 2, and he decides to retire.
Yeah, and a lot of people forget that athletes are human.
Yeah,
they can fall out of love with the game or just decide to leave their situation. So.
Yeah, I don't if there's anything cool about the situation. So the NIL deals can't be based off of performance. Yeah. So every deal he has is gonna stick. Like, I mean, he has a deal with Raising Cane's. I know he has a deal with a Ford dealership in Baton Rouge. They literally gave him a truck.
Yeah.
So he gets to keep that. I mean, that's pretty cool.
And that's got to be a factor into it too.
Yeah.
Like, I got some money now from these.
He's not walking away with nothing.
No, he's got money. So
yeah.
Probably made it a little bit easier.
Yeah, I kind of had a theory about it that maybe for him, when he was originally going to transfer and then came back, it was more like, I don't want to go to another big program and try to fight my way to a starting spot. So basically it was LSU or retirement for him, already going in as a sixth-year player. So I don't know. I just kind of feel like that's probably where his mind was. Like, if it doesn't work out, I'm not the starter. I'm just going to walk away.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, honestly, I'm sure he's got a six-figure job waiting on him.
Oh, yeah, probably. Yeah. Just, thinking about how many connections he probably has now, too. I mean, he's famous.
I mean, if you go to LSU, graduate with your master's, and play football, you're set up.
Yeah. He can do whatever
no matter
he
what
wants.
happens after that.
Yeah. So, I mean, he could probably even fit his way on the coaching staff somehow. So
yeah. So now that we're narrowed down to two, who do y'all think is the guy? Nussmeier or Jaden Daniels?
It's hard to say. I don't know. It's I mean, everything I've seen leans Daniels right now, but that could change in the next couple of weeks. Right. I think Daniels offers you the most athletic option, which it seems like they're kind of gearing the offense towards like a read option, which if you've watched him the last I guess 3 seasons that he's played, he is a master of the read option. Like, I don't know how he does it, but he can fake the handoff better than any other quarterback in college football right now. So I think it's leaning him, but I think Nussmeier, the good thing about him is he's only a redshirt freshman. So if you start him now, you have 4 years of him, or maybe 3, but 3 to 4 years of him playing college football for your team, getting better, becoming a leader, potential to be a top 10 draft pick eventually. So it's really up in the air, but I think right now it would be Daniels.
Yeah, I mean, at first coming in there was questions on his passing ability, but if you look at the stats, through fall camp so far, I mean, him and Nussmeier are pretty neck and neck. And I think what separates him right now, at first I said Nussmeier, but I really feel like, as of right now, Jaden Daniels is that guy. I mean, they're similar passers, and he has the ability to extend the play with his legs, so I feel like he's the best option. I mean, with the athletes that we have at receiver, if we have a true dual threat quarterback that can throw, our offense is going to be deadly.
And that's the way the game's going right now.
Yeah.
You almost need a dual threat guy. You need somebody who can run for 100 in a game if they have to. So
unless he's elite in the passing game.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you definitely need that.
Right.
Jaden Daniels came out and said that he got clocked at 21 miles an hour this spring.
Yeah, that's like absurdly. That's
NFL speed.
That would be like top 5 in quarterbacks in the NFL.
Now that's I'm assuming that's not with pads on.
Yeah, maybe, but even with pads on, I mean it's still like probably 20
19,
plus.
20, yeah.
Fast as fuck.
Yeah.
Fast as fuck, boy.
I mean, yeah, I feel like it's neck and neck. I mean, I feel like it almost comes down to what Brian Kelly wants to run, for an offense. If he wants a more mobile quarterback in Jaden Daniels, or, Garrett Nussmeier might be a slightly better passer. I mean, who knows? But I feel like they're neck and neck. But, yeah, I would say Jaden Daniels, just with his experience already starting, basically 3 years. So,
but, I mean, the SEC is a different monster.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to rule out Nussmeier, though. I mean, he comes from football. His dad, is a quarterback coach for the Cowboys, played for the Saints. I mean, it's in his blood. He's he's obviously really good. So it's hard to say right now.
Yeah, I think I would be a little more excited to see Nussmeier start, but I feel like as of right now, I would probably try out Jaden Daniels as a starter, at least for the Florida State game, and see how it goes.
Right.
But I feel like we're in pretty good hands. Yep. So I guess we're gonna wrap this up. We didn't have too many topics to talk about today, but we wanted to get an episode out. I'm sure we'll be doing one sometime next weekend. Probably a longer one, like we did last week. So
Yeah, we basically wanted to touch base on the things that we talked about in the first episode. Just thought it was kind of interesting how the day after we talked about those three things,
Our speculations were clarified.
right.
Right.
yeah.
So next week we'll talk more about NFL. We'll probably hit on some fantasy football, maybe some betting.
Yeah, we got the draft coming up next week.
Drafts
Yeah.
are coming soon.
Fantasy
So,
draft, to be
yeah.
clear.
Yeah, I think we'll talk about fantasy like after our draft, so we're not giving away any strategies
Right.
that we might have.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I'm not scared. I
Yeah.
mean,
just a little update. Kimberly Bro did claim her jersey, and it will be a Bengals jersey.
Mr. Joey B.
Yep.
Joey Burr.
Like a lot of us, she's now a Bengals fan. So I mean, I can't really blame her for not choosing the Saints, even though she's a Saints fan.
No, I'm thinking about getting a Bengals jersey of my own.
Yeah, you gotta support Joey.
So
for sure.
Miss Kimberly will be receiving her jersey soon.
Yeah, and I'm sure down the line we'll be doing more giveaways. So.
Yeah, we not sure if it'll be a jersey, but we'll do another giveaway soon.
Yeah.
Maybe try to get the page to 500 follows. We got somewhere. Are we at 300 now? We were at a little over 260 the last time I looked, like
We're
a
close.
week ago.
Yeah.
I think I looked
roughly.
today and it was 280.
We'll try to get that up a little bit.
So we're
but
getting there. Yeah, we're definitely getting some support and definitely getting some listeners.
Yeah, we
so-
appreciate the support.
Yeah.
For sure.
we do. The main thing we're worried about is just getting good content out for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and make sure you hit up our email or DMs or whatever if you
Yep.
want us to touch on a topic. Our
Any
email is
questions, ideas?
our email is callinyourBluffPod@gmail.com.
Once again, because Blake messed it up.
Yeah, not
Give
regular.
him a
your-
break.
you
No
are-
one's gonna email.
Yeah, no one
these
emails
days.
anyways. It'll all
But
be social media.
You can message us on any social media platform. I mean, I think we're on all of it right now. So
Yeah, calling your bluff. It's pretty
Yeah.
easy to find. There's no other accounts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
that.
linked in our Spotify too, so people can find
Yeah,
it.
there's a
easy.
link tree. So,
So,
but yeah, I guess that pretty much wraps up our episode. So, y'all stay tuned, and we'll be out with another one pretty soon.
peace out.
later.
Later.